right, welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Koffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my partner, Joe Cool.
What's going on, y'all?
All right, so we're going to talk about a couple of things with the Knicks that's been going on this week. But first, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. All right, what I'm going to do first today, Joey, because I know a lot of the Knicks fans are new in terms of a lot of them came during the late Patrick Ewing era. But my question today, my first question is, did Rick Pitino come to the wrong team in New York? You know, St. John's, I always root for them. They inked him this week after taking Iona to the NCAA games. So we need a breath of fresh air, and I like Tibbs, but now I was like, damn, was the right decision made to bring this guy to the Knicks, and did we do our due diligence maybe of looking into that? Like, you know, did we make the right choice not to pursue Rick Pitino as our head coach?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
See, because I look at, we had him before, back in the late 80s. He coached our team with young Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Mark Jackson. Took us to the second round of the playoff, sweeping a Philadelphia Charles Barkley-led team. Now, he didn't have that kind of success when he coached Boston in them early years. But his coaching resume, I think, at least speaks that we should have maybe took a look at that. Now we all love the job that Tibbs has done, how he's turned the way people see us around, and we give him a lot of credit for that. But Pitino, in his time, he took a small Providence college at the time to a Final Four. He won a chip with Kentucky. He took Louisville continuously to the tournament, led by Donovan Mitchell, who he begged the Knicks to take in the draft. He said that Donovan Mitchell would be tailor-made for the Knicks and the NBA. So we'd have listened to him there. And then he also took an Iona team, a small college, to the tournament. So I thought maybe we should have went ahead and looked at that and at least gave a possibility. I don't know if Tibbs would have understood it or not. But things like that, I don't think we should pass up on. Not to say we had to get him, but the way the NBA is now with a bunch of young players, now he wouldn't work with a veteran-led team, but with a bunch of young players on our team, the way he coaches, that up and down style, he's hard on defense. I think we should at least entertain that idea. Now I know that he's not, Calipari is Leon Rose's and them guy. But Rick Pitino would have been just as equally, if not a better coach, because he has coached in the NBA before, to help these new young guys reach their full potential. Because that's the only knock on with Tibbs. I know people say he plays players too long, but everybody's not reaching their full potential as players. And then I just think that we should have maybe took a little look at this guy, and he's going to do wonders for St. John's because he's going to get A-list players coming to the city.
Right, yeah, because I look at Quickly. I remember I was high on Quickly, and then it seemed like he reached a point where he wasn't going to get better than where he was at. And now you're looking at this year with the 6 men, and you see that he looks like he can still probably do more of what you thought he can do, and he's not there yet. Obi Toppin, he's another one, like, you think it's almost not a bust, but we don't use him, and then he shows signs of, like, he could do great things.
Well, I mean, we have to make
I don't know with player development how long that actually takes, or if there's any with the Knicks still. We still don't know. I mean, there's something, because they are getting better, and we seeing it in game, even with Mitchell Robinson. How long we had Mitchell Robinson? Maybe like 5 years now. And I don't know if that player development is all him. Is it little sprinkles of maybe outside sources?
No, we're not developing our players the way we should be.
And then are the coaches responsible for that player development more so than just the organization itself? So I don't know if that's the coach fault.
Well, we got to make a decision. We got to make a decision on Obi and IQ. Also on RJ, we got to make a decision on, because RJ will be a restricted free agent this year. So a decision's got to be made there. Next year, IQ will be a restricted free agent. And if I'm not mistaken, so would Obi. So we have to decide what we're going to do with them players, moving forward, because are we going to be at a standstill, or are their growth, is it enough to push us over the hump when it comes contract time? Because the next contract is going to be for some years. It'll be their second, real contract in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm cool with keeping IQ and Obi. Now, RJ, I think the time is up. There's nothing else. I don't think there's nothing else we can actually do for him unless he gets a bigger role.
Well,
and even then, that's like just taking a chance on him, saying, all right, can you do more? Now show me. But how you going to do that with Randall and Brunson then?
I mean, it's a three-headed monster. Most teams play with a three-headed monster. So RJ should be able to, he gets the ball enough to find his niche. As opposed to, like, say, maybe Grimes. RJ is a part of the offense.
It's like it's good, but it's like sneakily good. It's almost like when he's not on the radar, he's over muscling them. And there's some teams he just can't outsmart, outmuscle. So I don't know if that's just to his growth. And then again, is that just the Knicks organization not helping them with their growth?
Nah, they're not. We're not doing that as an organization. I think that's been proven that our players by now, RJ should have been in all-star status, even if he don't make the all-star team, because everybody can't make it. But he should have at least been, like they're saying with Brunson. There's no way Brunson should have not been on the all-star. But people understand. RJ's not even at that level where they say that he should have been an all-star.
Right.
So, no, that means we're not developing him, especially being a third pick and a highly coveted pick.
And I always tell you where the Knicks is headed depending on how the screen looks. So, you can see more of Brunson, Randall, and, quickly than you do see RJ. You know what I mean? Remember, you used to see RJ Randall quickly or RJ Randall, but now you can start to see when you're watching what players they actually looking at to keep for the long haul.
Well, it ain't RJ. Well, it might be, because I know they're not going to give him away because he's restricted. So, again, do we go after this season? Do we go after take a look at Jaylen Brown or Obi Anunoby? See, these are guys that are unhappy in their situations. I still don't get why RJ is a candidate guy. I'm pretty sure they would have some interest in R. I don't know why that didn't really manifest during the trading deadline.
Well, I think RJ is an easy problem to fix after the season's over. I feel like that's pretty simple.
No, it is nothing's never simple.
I'm talking about not simple, but I think that's a spot you can fill with somebody that's going to give you quality. Looking at Hart is not impossible. Looking at Brunson is not impossible. So, if they could take the time out as an organization, I think they did a great job on getting those players where we kind of questioned it. So either you didn't or you did. And I was like leaving Grimes, right? They took a chance on Grimes. Even when we were saying, maybe you do give him up, maybe you don't. We were split in half on that, and it ended up working in our favor. The only thing that didn't work in our favor is going out to get a start.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. Take RJ's abilities and turn that into with something else. Turn that into a star player or a guy that at least be considered a star player. And Anunoby could have star written over him. Jaylen Brown, I would say if it's a pecking order, I would look at Jaylen Brown first. You may have to give up too much. Anunoby, I would look at second. Now, there's other people who are disgruntled. Trae Young. Do you want to look at Trae Young? Zach LaVine. There was always interest in Zach LaVine, and then you got Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, so there's people that the Knicks can still look at to bring in quality players, but it's just also look at the guy in Kentucky, Kaysen something, combo guard, who they say the Knicks are high on, but he might be a lottery pick. That plays like IQ, but probably maybe a little more consistent. Also plays real defense. So, we have ways to go, but should we really look at these players? Because the decisions got to be made on players that we got. And then you got to keep one eye on, even if they're not real free agents, potential free agents, and make the right deal. Because we can't go backwards like we did 2 years ago with that season we had last year. We prove now that even having, we just lost 3 in a row, even doing things like that, we can stay with the hunt. Because teams aren't tanking yet. Another game or two, they're going to really start tanking. They're not doing it yet. So even though we're fighting for our life, we prove that we belong.
Right. So now we fall into another issue. I don't know when that comes up, but definitely Randall.
Well, let's just get into that then.
So that's, I wanted to bring Randall up. I don't know how far along we on that.
Well, no,
I think I'm one of the only people. I don't know, maybe, but I know during this channel, I'm always saying that his temper, his mentality, his leadership. I'm always looking at them qualities. Like they in the NBA, so of course these players play good, and he played exceptionally good. But his attitude is outrageous. I know I called you, but you didn't pick up.
Nah, Randall, this last one, and I've been tooting Randall's horn for 3 years. Too many blow-ups towards your teammates. Too many blow-ups in close quarters of the game that can, even though this last one happened at halftime, it's starting to wear and tear on your players, and it's starting to putting that void in your mind that mentally something is wrong. Because now it's too many times and it's too soon to the point where sorry just won't be enough no more. And then the Knicks going to have to decide for themselves, is a change in order. Like, is a change in order that we have to make a decision? Do we cut our losses with Randall at the end of this season and try to move him? Or do we just sit him down? Because now you're going to lose the trust of your players if you haven't already lost them. And I know publicly IQ said he said a lot of the right things publicly. But I know personally, because Derek didn't even try. He said he didn't show on the sidelines. You're attacking your teammates, you're attacking your coaches, and you're doing it in a way where people got friends and family in the stands. And then Tibbs talked about in the press conference how everybody has to pretty much try to reel Randall in. People not going to keep putting themselves in that predicament. If Randall, you're going to keep blowing up.
Right. And
it just now I'm not sure no more I could trust you. That 57-point game and a loss ain't worth the headache.
And you just had said the show before that Anthony Edwards would drop 50 and still lose. You know what I mean? My thing with just Randall is, you in New York, you only gonna get the blame because you take on the responsibility of being that guy. Now, when I said Brunson needs to probably take that role and you have to take the step back, that's probably what you have to do, just for your sanity. Yeah. You know what I mean? Brunson won't mind talking to the media and do what has to be done. He puts his body on the line for the team. Not saying Randall don't. You know what I mean? He has go-to moves and he has go-to people that he's looking for. With Randall, like the new generation, you not him, right? You are a great player, but you're not that guy. I'm gonna say I need to go get it. That's not the part. Well, that's the part. That's where the gray area come in at. Randall's has the two dribble spin to the baseline. That works for him. So even as a coaching staff, put him over there for that move. But I mean, it's because he's so physical, they can't.
No, I ain't even talking. I'm talking about the spin away move. That's two dribble spin away. They're not even touching him. But you have that. We have to because obviously he don't know the move that Brunson used. That's his thing. They clear out.
Almost similar. They moves are almost similar, just Brunson's smaller. Now, with Brunson being smaller, it almost looked like it's more tactical than what Randall do. Randall just looked like when he dropped to the paint, it's almost like LeBron.
But I ain't even talking about that.
It's almost like LeBron when he's in Cleveland. You know, he just run through the lane and he dunk on you because he get a lot of those. But now, why are you losing your cool like it's the rest of the team?
That has to be addressed.
Like when you dropping 57, how many shots did you actually put up or pass up? When you're running down the court, you're screaming for the ball, act quickly in them. Clearly 1 through 3 on our team brings the ball up. Hart brings the ball up. Quickly, who else I'm missing? Grimes. They all bring the ball up. Other than Brunson. And you clapping for the ball. Well, look, I can see your frustration on the side. They tuning you out.
We're gonna do this today because I took something, and I don't know how this will work, but we're gonna do it. So we're gonna show it on the screen, but it's a video that Monica Manut was breaking down for Randall, and it coincided with what we be talking about, and it was perfect. Let me find the right one. And she didn't run it, but Julius brought the ball up, right?
Move it closer.
He brought the ball up. I'll let y'all listen.
terrific pass. Shooter shoot to stay hot and shooter shoot to get hot before the defender can close out. Terrific.
Now, what I liked about that when I seen it, Julius, he got the rebound and brought the ball up. As soon as he got across half court, to his credit, like I always say, one thing about Julius, all 5 guys, definitely 3, but all 5 guys was watching him bring the ball up. Once he got closer to the paint, all 5 collapsed on him. And he knew once he took that other dribble, he had guys spread out, and then he knew right where Grimes was. So as soon as he sucked him in another step, made the pass to Grimes, Grimes shot the ball. Okay, that's a situation where a point forward can help you. When Randall get the ball, when he drives to the hole from the elbow, he gets that bump, and then he fades away, he shoot it. That's usually money, and he usually gets fouled. That's one of his moves that we should implement. Then the other one is when he's on the baseline, and he spins out towards the baseline to hit the fadeaway. That's another one. Brunson has the one where he drives in, you know, takes the hit, fadeaway, okay. But we know he's going to do that. On Randall's, we don't know he's going to do that.
I'm not so, I didn't bring that up to say so much of how he scored, when he going to get it, and the things he do. It's the pressure on him mentally once he do it. Brunson came down, and I remember you were saying Brunson ain't like that, right? And you saying he wasn't clutch. Remember that? Like, I don't think that's him. He came down, ended the game. He stopped short by the 3 and pulled up and missed. Right? Same thing what Kobe would do when he shot the air ball. Same thing Jordan do, I think, when he shot the air ball, right? Came up, clutch situation, missed. After that game, Brunson came back. He didn't get mad. He didn't curse his teammates out. He didn't do anything. He came back and showed that he is clutch.
Well, their reasons are different. Yeah, Randall's is the ref. Randall's is mad at the ref while he, you know.
But you mad at the ref because it's almost like you playing like a mellow. You being more physical when you shoot those shots. You're not coming down shooting 3 and you getting fouled on the 3-point line. You're not doing that dribble move left, right, and then pulling up and they knocking you down to the floor. You're not going to the basket and doing what D Rose do. You are in the post, moving and grooving.
It's frustrating.
It is frustrating.
It's frustrating when the calls are being called on you and not when they're doing it to you.
And then the Knicks understand, the fans understand that they don't never call the Knicks calls, whether you're a star or not.
No,
you don't put it on your teammates.
Well, Randall's wrong. I'm clearly saying too. Randall's wrong.
You don't put that.
But I understand the frustration. Not even in that last one the other day, but I do understand it when I bump them in a regular defensive move, y'all call it. But even if they hit me, y'all just overlook it. Now Randall goes to the line enough times, but it's just that in crucial parts of the game, he don't get the call. But that's still not enough for you to take it out on your teammates when they're trying to calm you down. And at this point, it's not even enough for Tibbs to put it on the other players. Because players is not going to keep putting themselves through that.
Yeah.
You know. And then ironically enough, I'm going to show y'all another clip. Somebody sent me on IG that Patrick Ewing did the exact same thing. Ironical part was it was also against the Orlando Magic. That Patrick Ewing went off with his teammates and did the exact same thing. So just check this out real quick.
Ewing, as he's bumped by O'Neal, there's so much contact going on between the big men at all times. And the official probably read that quote.
All right.
So, but no, I'm saying Patrick would do that at times, but the difference for me when Patrick did it, his team knew he would never quit on them. Like Patrick was there every single day in and day out and in practice. There was no time off. There was no, and he accepted the blame for everything that happened to the Knicks. He never turned on somebody else. Now, I don't condone no player ever getting on your teammates, even when they make a mistake.
Yeah, I was seeing on ESPN and a lot of the shows on YouTube where they pointed out situations where players were screaming at other players on the bench. Or I think even LeBron did it, right? But with Randall, it's like when you're slapping the headboard and the chairs and it's towards your teammates and they're trying to talk to you and you don't even want to hear it. This is multiple times, not Patrick Ewing's one time out of how many games. Frustration, you know what I mean? Of like, yo, bro, like nah, this is a fact. Like,
Well, I mean,
this ain't that situation. This is you really having a meltdown on the court.
Yeah.
And a player can't even say nothing to you. Or when you on the line and you don't get the ball swung to you and you going to look at Quickly and you like, yo, give me the ball. Like, everybody want to win. That's my issue.
Well, that's what Quickly said.
Yeah, it's past
that was
what
his easy way out.
It's past the moves and what he's doing on the court. When you really sit down and you watch him,
yeah, something got to be done.
He's really cursing at the players on the court. Like, give me the ball. Like, what you was doing over here? Like, it's different from me coming at you and then...
Well, I don't know if he's doing to that extent when you don't get the ball.
You got to watch the whole game. You got to go back and look at these games where he's really, like, in their face. Or some mannerisms.
Yeah,
it made me look bad from
some
when we
decisions are being made the wrong way. Like when IQ came down the other night and he had RJ on one wing and he had Grimes on the other wing and he swung it to RJ for the three when Grimes was clearly more wide open. It's just like certain things. People make certain plays when Randall don't get the ball, and two, to the other player's credit, don't give him the ball.
All right, but then you
make your move. Okay, let him.
See Grimes walk up to Quickly.
Well, Grimes don't got but he don't got the pedigree to do that.
Right,
Randall shouldn't do it, but that's where the coaches come in.
Even RJ don't do that, but the coach
used to do it last year. Make those faces. Randall as the face of the team has responsibility to the guys to get on them and pick them up, not to badger them. Nobody has the right. Like Mario Chalmers now got this thing out where he's talking about how he was talking about LeBron then. When everybody getting on him,
but
LeBron used him as a but remember LeBron used him as a whipping boy in Miami. That's what you pick that one player where you want to go at Wade and Bosh, but you channel it towards Mario Chalmers. But he was saying that even back then. Yeah. With LeBron. Chris Childs used to say that about Patrick Ewing. Acknowledge me on the court. Patrick didn't pay them guys no mind, other than Starks and Oakley. So it's a way that as a star player of a team, it's a way you handle your teammates. It's one thing to hold them accountable, to be frustrated. It's another thing to put your frustration out on them. So there's no win-win in this situation with Randall. It's wrong, and I'm at the point now where no matter what you do the rest of the season, I'm concerned, can I trust you now in the playoffs? Because teams are already going to be gunning for you because they know that putting all the focus on you takes you out your game. Yeah. Having Brunson eases that, right? Having Hart eases that. But now when it happens, just because they're taking you out your game, are you going to turn that against the other people who might be playing well? If you stop me, fine. I got backup now. This year I got backup. So I don't know if I could trust Randall anymore with that. And I don't know if anybody can be in Randall's corner more than I could. But now you showing a mental breakdown that if you're not willing to get help, now for me, you can't go get no help right now. We're too far in the trenches. But now this summer, if I'm management, I got to make a serious decision on what I have to do with that.
If he was getting texts and having mental lapses with the other team, I wouldn't care.
It's your teammates. That's
look at the dude from the Grizzlies. What's his name?
Yeah, how you talking about?
Yeah, him. I don't forgot his name, but him. He get on my nerves too.
Yeah, but they accept him.
Yeah, he do it to the other team.
They accept him as their emotional leader too. So it's a difference. We don't really see Randall. His guys don't really see him that way. They see, of course, they see your frustration, but this is not the guy they see meditating. Before the game, and then I'm gonna have that guy.
Even Draymond punches a teammate behind closed doors. But at least Draymond shows the leadership.
Well, something got to give. Something. Yeah, he don't got to be my leader.
That's what I'm saying.
He don't got to be my leader in that sense. But as a coaching staff, and we bring in all these guys, and that's the one thing I say too with Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino will be in your face with that. You have responsibility. So that's why I went back to, did we do our due diligence, at least not looking into Rick Pitino being that he was available. Now, the man is 70 years old, so I don't know after this St. John stint, where he'll be at, coaching-wise. There's guys that are older or were older, but where will he be after being in St. John's? But he's going to be at the Garden a heck of a lot for St. John's home games. He'll be in the city, and this question is going to come up more than not. That why wasn't he looked into for this Knicks job? Because all these players, he has history with all these players that we got on our team, and I'm pretty sure he recruited all these players coming out of high school, to play for him. So somebody let me know too. What it's water under the bridge now because he signed with St. John's. But where could we have been with him, and or should we have at least looked into getting him? All right, so we're gonna talk about the standings real quick. The Eastern Conference standings. We still in 5th place. We lost 3 in a row. I thought we would stay away from that. With 7 games to go, we're a game and a half over the Nets, who played Miami yesterday, and we're 2 games ahead of Miami. So now, this is getting serious now for this play-in game. It's not a lock anymore. Last week we thought it might still be. We were a little bit hesitant, but with 7 games to go, all of our schedules between the 3 teams are pretty much even. Who we have to play. We've locked ourselves out of 4th place, as y'all can see. But so we're not assured a 5th or 6th seed anymore. It just and then I look at a lot of the other teams who are outside of 8th and 9th, they still have a chance to creep in if they don't decide to fold. But we're definitely now no longer locked. And if we don't maintain that 6th seed, even though the playoffs is a new animal, it's almost like it's a big regression for us. And now that leads me for the cause concern, and also leads me for how I feel we could do in the playoffs. We cannot limp into the playoffs. And the only way to control our destination is to win these 7 games. You don't got to win all of them. But we don't, other than Miami on Wednesday, we play again. So come this time next weekend, we could be on the outside of the 6th seed looking in. That's the route we're going. And it's not a matter of who's out, if Brunson is out, or if Mitch is out. We proved that we can win without a lot of our players, but we have to stay mentally tough and just get over this hump. And at least now, it's almost like a damn shame that we at least now trying to have the 6th seed.
Yeah, I think the only adjustment they got to make going forward if Brunson is hurt or if he needs more rest is you can either put McBride in the starting lineup and have quickly just so you don't break the rotation, or let D Rose start getting his reps in to be ready for the playoffs. I think he's going to be a crucial part come the playoffs. If McBride just can't handle it. I'm not saying he can't, but
we're gonna need the experience, right? We're gonna need the.
And McBride showed that he can knock down those shots and get into the hole. He just plays his role. So, but you might need somebody that they just cannot guard.
Well, we'll need somebody that's reading the defense. And that's the one thing. And I like to see McBride in the playoffs. But I also like to see, if we have to, Derek could settle the storm. Because he's been there before. And Tibbs got it. You have to make a decision.
And it's, like I said, fresh legs. I noticed these players in the playoffs, sometimes they got fresh legs with them. Or they saving their players for the playoffs. Like, they just make it into the playoffs. And then that's when they really get their reps in. They like playing regular basketball, and then they turning it up a notch.
Well, we got 2 things going for us.
We turning it up, and we falling apart. Like, body-wise. Like, not even breaking down 3 losses. We falling apart. Like, players are getting hurt. They putting it all on the line. That's what worries me.
Well, the chess match, we're not matching the chess match. Now, Tibbs got us this far, so you don't really, even after that talk about Pitino, so you don't want to fully abandon him because he got us this far. But still, our ace in the hole is that we have Derek, right, to settle the storm in them situations when they get real tight. And then we see 2 games ago, really, I can't really talk about the last game that much, but the 2 prior to that, where we was actually featuring Grimes now a little bit, and he was coming through. So that's also an ace in the hole for us. Nobody's going to game plan for Quentin Grimes in playoffs. And if we have certain spells in the game where we're going to ride him 5 or 6 times up and down the court, he's proven that he can make the right play and hit the big shot. So we do have some things going for us. I'm concerned about Julius. When the playoffs come, we're going to wipe the slate clean. But right now, just those things just have to be addressed. And we are allowed to say that when the Knicks are effing up like that. Because you can't come from your leadership team, meaning our leadership players. This is when we need y'all to keep y'all's cool head. And these things just can't happen. These meltdowns, teams are they looking at that.
Yeah, well, quickly
they're gonna scout that.
And running the team when Brunson not there, I don't even think you should have even been able to talk to him like that. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean
it just hurt that you talked to like he's a rookie. He been there when you was there.
And they look up to you.
And he proved himself. But you shouldn't have, as mad as you can get, I'd rather you been had screaming and trying to say your piece too quickly than you just flat out pushing him and screaming. It was the physical.
Well, what I thought,
it was the physical part.
Well,
of
the
him
other part is a
screaming
learning thing for me. The only part I wasn't upset about with that was that Quickly kept pursuing it because your leadership is coming out.
Yeah.
So, and you'll learn from that because he didn't stop Quickly. So good. Because when I do become the man, I'm going to be in your face. So I appreciated that part about Quickly. Now, if you can take that from Randall and still, in front of the cameras afterwards, give him the benefit of the doubt, that's telling people that this is in me all along. I am a leader, but I'm not trying to step on other people's toes because we have Derrick Rose here. We have, Brunson here. We have. So I'm going to be who I am. But as my game improves and my personality shine, I'm getting in your face, and I like the way that Quickly praised Grimes. Grimes stopped when he Randall. Okay, fine. Because people don't want to be dealing with that. People don't want to have to go through that every single game. They looking to you for strength in them times, not to be battered and battered down. So kudos to Quickly, even with what he had to go through, because that's gonna make gonna make you a better leader.
And not losing his cool, because I'd have lost it.
Nah, but that's what's gonna make him a better leader, right? Because he's gonna look back on that. Yeah. And one day I might be the man on this team, and when I'm the man on this team, listen, we gonna prevail. We ain't gonna let that happen. So, but let us know what y'all think about Rick Pitino and what y'all think about Julius Randle. And then 2, is IQ a future leader on somebody's team? Because to me, that's what he showed in that situation.
Shit, don't tell everybody that, because then we're gonna lose him for sure.
Well, people are gonna be looking after him already. All right, so we'll see y'all next time. But please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Peace.
Peace.